Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And good news, the media can't math. No, actually,
I know, right? Surprise.
the good news, according to the media, several media outlets running with this, Indiana Jones has finally broken even because it cost, without marketing, without any other expenses, it cost over $300 million and they made $302 million.
Yeah, no, and they don't even know that's right. They said it could be $350 million this cost because it got delayed so many times.
Yeah.
It broke even.
It broke even.
No, it didn't.
Not even close to breaking even. We're going to talk about this, then we're going to talk about Mission Impossible not doing very well at the box office this weekend either. So, look, this summer so far, other than Mario and Spider-Man, hasn't been that great.
No.
It really hasn't been that great. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
So I noticed this on Collider at first, and then Comic Book Resources ran with it too, that Indiana Jones has broken even.
With its budget.
With its budget, yes.
No.
It made $302 million as of this weekend internationally, right? And it had an estimated budget of $300 million.
Some people said they think it was closer to $350 because of the delays.
Yeah, so
And it doesn't count marketing.
No, it doesn't.
Residuals, theaters cuts, theatrical cuts. $302 million in theaters. What is it after the theaters get their cut?
Yeah, they keep forgetting about that. Like, you know, those pesky theater owners want their cut too, right?
How much is KK paying for this?
I don't know.
Or Iger? Hey, you know what? We'll tell people that. We'll tell people that too if you give us a few million.
Yeah,
No,
like
you won't.
It's like, oh God, this is
For 5 minutes, then we'll correct it.
For 5 minutes. Even with Harrison Ford coming back in the iconic role, according to Collider, there's no denying the movie will have a hard time with turning a profit.
It didn't even break even. Depending on the estimate, the budget, which they even admit, they don't know. It's around there somewhere, depending on who you ask. And it doesn't consider the theatrical, the theater cuts. Like it doesn't, they get a cut of that. So there's 300 and some million. There's a cut that's given to the theaters.
Yeah, I just like, I mean, this is like people when they math out like crowdfunders and stuff too. It's, they look at the numbers on Kickstarter and Indiegogo and they're like, you made $1 million. That means you literally have $1 million in your pocket, not accounting for Kickstarter's fees, transaction fees, taxes, paying people, production, shipping. They actually take the dollar amount from the shipping. So if you have a lot of international backers and they roll that into the number too.
Right. And then you have to pay fees on that on top of it. So you're losing money on each shipping and everything else too.
You can have, and people think I'm nuts, but I'm like, you can have a 6-figure crowdfunder. We know from experience, you can have a 6-figure crowdfunder and just break even if you're lucky.
Yeah, or just make very, very little money.
Make very, very little after expenses. But it's interesting. This is, again, coming from Collider, and they said it's unlikely that Indiana Jones is going to be profitable, and the studio might have to think twice before moving forward with another film.
I thought they weren't doing another film. I thought they've already said that this was the last Indiana Jones film because they weren't going to replace Harrison Ford.
Well, they're talking in general because they're like, after the financial disappointment of Solo and The Rise of Skywalker, maybe they should rethink it.
Or get rid of certain people.
Maybe you should just rethink everything, Lucasfilm. Like, yeah, they even mentioned Willow, what disaster Willow was. It was so bad that they took it off of Disney Plus completely. Like, it's just not working. It's just not working, guys. I just can't believe that. And there are multiple outlets are running with this. They're just like, well, I made $302 million.
Breaking even from a certain point of view.
It's profitable. It's profitable, guys. It's breaking even. So next week it'll be profitable. No, not even close. So according to this article from Yahoo, and this sounds about right. They said before marketing, they said it has an estimated.
Okay, 295.
Estimated budget. Some people said more. Some people said it was like 3 and a quarter.
3 to 350 is what I've heard. But
they said it needs to make at least 3 times that to be considered profitable because of the marketing.
Right.
Marketing's not free.
Let's say they did 300 just to call it, just to say 300. We'll just say 300 for fairness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to make at least 600 to break even.
But that's going to be the story because this is still in the theaters. Bob Iger, we did a video earlier today, is completely freaking out about the state of Disney. So he's not going
to... that he caused.
That he caused. I mean, what's he going to tell the shareholders next quarter? Like, all of our movies are failing.
And Kathleen Kennedy, he's the one that kept her there. And he and Kathy decided to make, Galaxy's Edge based on their films and everything else. I mean, he's just as responsible because ultimately she's in charge of Lucasfilm, but he's in charge of her all.
Said to be seen as a true success, it needs to break $1 billion globally. And when they greenlit this, they probably thought because Crystal Skull did, I think, almost $1 billion or $1 billion, but that was, how many years ago? But they were probably thinking to themselves, well, yeah, an Indiana Jones movie is going to do $1 billion. Easy. It's like, weren't you looking at the dailies? Didn't you read the script first? You honestly thought this version of Indiana Jones was going to do $1 billion?
They really...
God hates Indiana Jones too.
The dark and stormy day.
Yeah, it was a dark and stormy night.
They really, they look at these scripts and they think they've got a winner. And it's because of who they hired to write this stuff, I guess. I don't know how you can look at this stuff and be like, hot damn, people are going to love this. And then it comes to theaters and I'm thinking, what were you thinking? Like, especially when it came to like the Star Wars where they didn't put the characters together from the original. They made Luke he didn't even allowed to talk in the first movie. He just shows up and looks grumpy. Mark Hamill's even making jokes. He's like, I'm not allowed to speak, when they had interviews. And what person thought this was a good idea? Well,
we know what person.
What people.
What person thought it was a good idea. Yeah, look, as soon as the leaks came out, and some of them were true, some of them were not true, it just sounded like a really bad idea. Mm-hmm. On paper even, it sounded like a really bad idea.
But there's ways they could have made it work, and it could have been good. Yeah. There's things they could have gone with the same basic story and just made some changes, like not ruining Indy's life, and everything else. And they could have, made Mutt off somewhere doing something else, and he was still married, and he was still happy, and he was just helping out a friend's goddaughter. His goddaughter's a friend's daughter. There's all kinds of things they could have done that wouldn't have ruined Indiana Jones, yet they did.
Yeah, they could have. If Shia LaBeouf was a problem, they could have recast Mutt. It's been enough time.
Yeah, it's been years. They could have. Yeah,
he was a teenager. You could have just recast him. But
maybe this was their chance. They could have made Mutt stick, and they could have continued it with Mutt. No, but you know why? Mutt doesn't have tits.
How dare you assume Mutt doesn't have tits?
I'm just saying. Because they wanted to make the new lead woman, and then when it looked clear it wasn't going to work,
Mutt
then
is
they're
a
like,
bitch.
basically, Mutt's a bitch. Like this, if they could have made him work, if they'd come back to a different actor maybe and gave him a better story, it could have maybe given them something that could have moved on, and they could have spun off. But people are just so pissed, and then
yeah, it's just like it's over, guys. Like it's over for Lucasfilm too. I don't know where we talked about this before. I have no idea what they do next. Their Disney Plus shows are dropping off a cliff. Interest in Star Wars is dropping off a cliff. Willow, they've completely gone scorched earth on it at this point. Mm-hmm. And they don't have anything else. But
again, remember, it's just all the bigots and the small vocal minority of bigots.
Yes.
And straight white men who wear MAGA hats that ruined all these movies.
You bigots.
Globally.
You did this. It's all your fault.
Trump thumpers globally ruined. There's storming.
It is storming here. Wow. Yeah, it's really storming. Anyway, let's talk about Mission Impossible real quick, because again, it's not just Indiana Jones. It's not just these other movies. This does seem to be an issue where people are just turning their backs on Hollywood entertainment. Mission Impossible only made 56 million this weekend, which is less than Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but they broke some records. But then again, like I said, all these movies supposedly break records. Doesn't mean
they all break records. It just depends on how you're spinning it, right?
Right.
So it just seems like everything is down. For sure. So, and the thing that sucks, going back to this picture here for Hollywood is, your actors and your writers are on strike. So how many years until you have another summer that has as many, tentpole franchises as this one?
It's not that long of a strike. It's not going to be that off-putting. Because damn well that that the actors will come back and they can go right back to work. And as far as projects for writers and stuff, a lot of the showrunners write their own stuff and directors write themselves anyway. So like the big movies, a lot of them are written by them directly. So I don't think it's going to be delayed as much as long as the strike doesn't go on very long with the actors. And I think that it might not, because the actors are much more necessary in the eyes of Hollywood than some of the writers are.
For now. For now.
But the writers, they're not supposed to be writing stuff, but damn well they're writing stuff right now at home.
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay, so as soon as we come back, we got all this stuff written.
I'm going to keep it on my Google Drive until it's time to whip that thing out.
So they already have meetings. They probably have stuff ready to go and meetings lined up and everything. So as soon as it's done, the strike's over, they can just go right back into it.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure. I mean, this is we'll see. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, maybe Barbie will do better. Hopefully.
Oppenheimer. It's not going to be Haunted Mansion, I don't think, even though I want to see it.
Haunted Mansion's not going to do that well, I don't think.
And I want to see it.
I know you want to see it, but I don't think it's going to do it well. People are wondering.
I agree with you. I don't think it's gonna.
People are wondering why they're putting the Haunted Mansion out in July, and I'm thinking the reason.
Well, no, they moved dates around. That's why.
They move the dates around, but they're also like, well, we can get this one on the books if it makes money, and if it doesn't make money, we can write it off this fiscal year.
Well, that could be true, but they also had a plan that it was originally supposed to come out later. I think it was actually after Halloween, and then they switched. I think they switched that date with Ms. Marvel, or the Marvels, I mean.
But that doesn't make
and they put the Marvels there. I think it's what you said. They're trying to get on the books. Personally, you should have kept the Marvels where,
Yeah,
you
let the Marvels fail.
Yeah, let them fail and get that one on the books. But they did switch the date not that long ago.
So there it is, guys. Indiana Jones limping to the finish line here, and we'll see where it winds up. But there's no way in hell they're going to make their money back on this one. It's over. It's just a sad way, like you said. It's a sad way for this franchise to go out.
And it makes me sad. It really breaks my heart.
But there it is. So we're gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Bye.
Help support the channel. Go to thereef.support and get early access to podcasts, videos, and other content. That's thereef.support.